What do you want to make happen in the next 6 months of your life? And I keep saying that time is going to pass, that I'm recording this and it's April here in the United States. We're a third of the way through the year already. And I want you to truly just think about how much time has gone by so fast. Like it just seems like yesterday that it was New Year's. And the fact is, 6 months, it is going to just pass in the blink of an eye. When I think about the next 6 months, holy cow, my son, he's going to graduate from high school. Do you know how fast that time is going to go? We're going to fly through the spring. Graduation's going to be here. And then we're going to be into the summer. And next thing you know, I'm going to look up and it's going to be fall and we're going to be dropping him off at college. And wherever it is that you're watching this right now or you're listening to my words, just take a minute and think about the next 6 months. In fact, close your eyes if you can and time travel with me 6 months from now. And imagine what you want your life to look like. For me, when I time travel ahead 6 months from right now, it's October. I'm turning 56. Chris and I will be empty nesters. One of our daughters will have moved to New York. The other one will be out in Los Angeles. Our son will be off at college. Where will you be? 6 months from now? What's it feel like in your day-to-day life? What's happening in your career? How have your relationships or your friendships changed? Are you making more money? Has your health changed? Are you happier? Where are you? Did you move? I really want you to stop and visualize it. What do you want to make happen in the next 6 months of your life? What do you want it to feel like? And as you really start to turn that over in your mind, I'm going to share with you some of the things that come to mind for me. And as I'm sharing the things that I see when I time travel forward, and I allow myself to imagine life 6 months from now, and I think about what do I want to make happen? I want you to continue to be in your own life 6 months from now. And in the workbook, which helps you dive deep into this question, you're going to see that there are 5 categories that define your life that will help you consider what do you want to make happen in your life in the next 6 months. And these, by the way, are the same 5 categories that you used when we did the best year planning workshop, because these are the categories that make up your whole life. And those categories are health and wellness. What do you want to make happen as it relates to your health and wellness in the next 6 months? Second category, career, money, school. What do you want to make happen? You may be starting a new school. You may be starting a new career. Has your business taken off? Third category, relationships, love, friendship. What's going on in that area of your life 6 months from now? Happiness. I love this category because it's like hobbies and how you feel and your daily habits and what it's like at your home. Are you happier? God, I hope you're happier. And the final category, as you really sit and contemplate that question, what do I want to make happen in the next 6 months of my life? Purpose, spirituality, meaning. Just really allow yourself to travel ahead. here's a couple things that jump out for me when I think about 6 months from now and it's October and I'm 56 and Chris and I are empty nesters. So in the area of happiness, that one kind of jumped out first. For me, when I go ahead 6 months, I immediately started to think about my home, probably because I said the word empty nester, right? And as I'm walking around my home with Chris and it's just us and the 2 dogs, something kind of funny popped into my mind. And this is one of the categories that you will be led through in your workbook to go deeper and journal on. But here's what jumped out for me with happiness. So I live in southern Vermont, and we have lived in this house that we have renovated, and I just love this place. And now we've lived here full time for 2 years. Do you know there is not a single framed photo of anyone in my family on any wall of this house? And if I'm being perfectly honest, if I float through and I think about countertops or, kind of those nice side tables that people have or shelves, I don't have any photos there either. I mean, we've been living in this house for 2 years. And there's this one wall that is over a bench that we have in this breakfast area off the kitchen. And when we designed the house, you know what I always imagined? I imagined one of those beautiful picture walls. I don't know if you've ever been in somebody's house, or maybe this is your house, where you have one of those walls that is just so beautiful, where it's matching frames and everything's lined up and it's great photos of the family. I have always wanted a photo wall of the family. And when we designed the house, I'm like, I am going to hang photos there. Well, guess what? I've been thinking about that for 2 years. And it hasn't happened. Why? Because things don't happen by accident. They happen because you make them happen. And so one thing I really do want to wake up and see that I have done in the next 6 months, because it's going to make me happier, especially when Chris and I are empty nesters, is to walk into the breakfast area of the kitchen in October and see that that wall is done. That would make me happier. For real. Let me give you another example of something that comes to mind for me in the area of relationship, love, and friendship. When I time travel ahead 6 months, what do I want to make happen in that area of my life? This is very, very clear for me. I want to look back on these last 6 months and see that I spent a ton of time with our son, Oakley, because I feel that I am in that moment. It's like a melting ice cube. It is disappearing. The time that I have with him is disappearing before my eyes. And so it is super important to me when I think about that area of my life that in the next 6 months, I spend as much time with Oakley as I can, and I got to make that happen. And you know what that's like. You kind of set this intention and then you mean to do it and then you don't do it. Why? Because life is busy. That's why you have to get serious about turning this into a project that you're going to make happen. I think about my parents. In the next 6 months, I want to spend more time with my parents. In fact, my dad has just gone through this situation where 3 of his friends have had these catastrophic things happen. 2 have died, like suddenly, and one of them fell downstairs and like broke just about every single bone. And we know that that is a horrible thing to have happen. And my dad is turning 80 this year, and I want to spend more time with my parents in the next 6 months. I have to make that happen. And it's not going to happen by accident. It happens on purpose. I don't know if I've talked about this on the podcast or not with you guys, but I have this desire to launch a product company in the women's health space. You know, I mentioned that I'm in this super confusing supplement routine for my hormone balance. It's working, but it's so confusing that it has lit this fire inside me that I'm like, I got to do something about this. I got to simplify this. I got to figure out something in this space to help everybody translate this confusing expert advice and all this supplement stuff. Like, I got to do something. And 6 months from now, if I really get quiet and I time travel and I go, what do I want to make happen? here's what I see. I see that I have done the research on the space, that I've got a business plan sketched out, that I know where the funding is coming from, whether I'm going to fund it or I'm raising money. And I also know who I'm going to recruit to be the CEO of this thing. That's a lot, but that's what I see. And I can wish for it. I can want it, but that doesn't make it happen. If I truly want to make it happen, I got to convert that wanting and wishing into a plan of action. And you know what I'm realizing as I say this is something else, because those two things have come up in my career, this massive book launch for the Let Them theory and this desire to spin off and launch this incredible company, is that, you know how I said I had that goal of saving money? That was part of the goal setting that I did for best year. Here's what I'm realizing. I don't really care about saving money right now because I have too much going on. And the fact is, I have been saving money for years. I mean, I'm like a squirrel hoarding my nuts. I have been squirreling away money because I'll tell you something. If you've ever faced bankruptcy like I have, if you have ever been in such financial distress that you can't pay for groceries like I have, you get to a point where you never let yourself do that again. And so I have been saving for years. I'm extremely risk averse. I've lost so much money in the past that I am not going to let that happen again. But here's what I realize in this moment as I'm talking to you, is that I don't care about making that a project right now. I don't care about making that happen because I already kind of do that anyway. And just being able to say that this isn't a priority, this is so liberating. Is there something that you created as a goal at the beginning of the year that you're realizing now that it's April? You're like, I actually don't really care about that. I just kind of said that and I cared about it then. But the truth is life has changed, or I realized the work that it's going to take, and I'm being honest with myself. Like, why have something on your list that you have no desire to make happen? So here's another takeaway. Your friend Mel Robbins, I'm giving you permission right now as you go through your workbook, melrobbins.com/make it happen. As you go through this workbook, there is a page in here where you can list out the things that were once a priority that are just not a priority anymore. That is a moment of honesty that you need to have with yourself. Clear away the guilt. Seriously, clear it off your to-do list. Take it out of the best year goals and create room for something that you care about, that you actually will make happen. And let me tell you why this matters. It matters because it's so easy to find yourself lulled into this kind of robotic autopilot mode in your life, right? Where one day blends into the next. And, it's basically get up, go to work, come home, make dinner, clean the kitchen, go to bed, get up, go to work, come home, make dinner, clean the kitchen, go to bed. It's just like, what the hell? You've already forgotten what it is that you cared about because you're so exhausted. Next thing you know, you're like, wait, 4 months have gone by, 6, it's October already and I didn't even do anything? Not happening to you. Defining a game worth playing over the next 6 months will create meaning and excitement in your life. Sometimes the only thing that's missing from your life is a project that's worth getting out of bed for. I mean, think about it. When you have a kid that's playing a sport, right? And they're like driving towards the championship and a winning season, you're driving towards something. And the fact that they're playing that big game of having a winning season, that creates excitement and meaning. When you're planning a wedding, when you're looking for a new apartment, when you're training for a marathon, when you're taking a class, it creates excitement and meaning. And don't look at these things that you want to make happen as a chore. That's not what the next 6 months of your life is about. You get to choose. This is an opportunity to infuse the next 6 months of your life with something better, something worth getting out of bed for, something worth not getting lulled into that, I get up and go to work and I just do the same old shit all the time. And look, you want to know what's so cool is that I've only covered the first few pages of the workbook for real. as I've asked you to time travel, as I've asked you to consider this question over and over and over again, what do you want to make happen in the next 6 months of your life? Think about these categories, and the workbook is going to take you even deeper. This is such a gift to give to yourself. And look, I could keep going, but here's what I can feel. I can already feel your desire to download the workbook. I can feel your desire to start imagining some kind of project that you can take on and design for yourself, something that is going to make the next 6 months just awesome, something that you want to make happen. And look, it could be something that is kind of simple and crafty, like my photo wall. Do you know how happy I'm going to be that I actually made that happen? And it's going to take a lot more work than you would think. I got to pick the photos. I got to figure out the measurement. I got to figure out the size. Like, it actually will take time. It sounds kind of stupid, but it doesn't matter if it sounds stupid to you. This is something that matters to me, and this is really important. If you want the next 6 months of your life to be awesome, you got to pick something that is personally important to you. That if you were to work on it and see yourself chip away at it, it would give your life a sense of purpose. It would create some momentum. It would really infuse you with this energy and this enthusiasm. That's why this matters. Yes, we're going to talk all about how you translate this project into action. But first, I got to get you to start dreaming a little bit. I got to get you to define what would really help you come alive. And so here's how this is going to work. The second you go to melrobbins.com/makeithappen, you will see a little video from me welcoming you. You will get a copy of the workbook right there. And I've even taken the steps with my amazing team. You can download it. You can print it. We even have a low ink format. This is bright green and really colorful. You can do one in black and white, or we've created an electronic format for you too, all for free. That's all you have to do to be registered for this free workshop. Just go to melrobbins.com/makeithappen. And then what's going to happen is there are 2 in-depth video trainings. And those video trainings will help you translate this into action. I'm going to walk you through all the remaining exercises in the workbook in those videos. And I'm going to teach you a bunch of principles. Some that are strategies that business consultants use with some of the top companies in the world. We're going to talk about a principle from physics called the domino effect that will teach you how to take action, how to get started, how to leverage momentum and fight inertia. And for everyone in your life who is graduating right now, this is an incredibly important thing for you to give them, because it will help you define what you want to make happen in the next 6 months. Because think about graduation. Holy cow. You know what happens when graduation hits? Holy smokes. It's like whoosh, tidal wave. And it sweeps you right into summer. And the next thing you know, you look up and 6 months is gone. This is also exactly what anyone in your life needs if they've been laid off, or if they're looking for a better job, or they're thinking about applying to graduate school, or they're launching a business. This workshop gives you the structure to define it, and then it will give you the tools and the teaching that you need to translate it to action. The difference between time moving forward without you and you moving forward with it is taking a minute right now to figure out what you want to make happen during that time. Just imagine how different you will feel if you look up and it's October and you aren't thinking about that side hustle, but it's actually up and running and it's making money. You know how proud you're going to be of yourself? Just as proud as I'm going to be when I walk into my kitchen and I sit down for a cup of coffee and I look up at the beautiful photo wall that I'd been thinking about for the last 2 years, and I finally got off my rear end and I stopped thinking about it and I made it happen. That is what's available to you. To stop talking and to start doing. To stop wishing and wanting and to start creating. That's what we're doing here. And all you need to do is go to melrobbins.com/makeithappen and get yourself set up. And I'm going to be there to support you with the 2 video trainings and this free workbook where we are going to help you master going from thought to action. That's how you do it. And I want you to make the next 6 months absolutely amazing, because there's nobody like you. Nobody. And that's why I'm here, because I'm not going to let all that incredible impact and momentum and energy and ideas and heart and spirit and the difference that you can make for yourself, for your family, for the community, and for the world around you go to waste. So why not take this opportunity to make something incredible happen in the next 6 months? Download the workbook, do the exercises, be honest with yourself, and let's make something amazing happen by October. Whether you set goals for 2024 or not, I'm just wondering, how's it going? I wanted to use our time today to help you think about the next 6 months, because we're a third of the way through the year. 6 months from now, what's it feel like in your day-to-day life?